All right, so today I wanted to do something a bit different. I thought it would be quite fun to have my girlfriend ask me a few questions about dating that I think would be very useful for you guys and make it in a more natural conversational way. That being said, let's go with the first question.
Okay. Okay. That's what. Okay, давай еще раз. Okay, what's the biggest mistake you see high-performing men make then their... Блядь, подожди. Заново. Okay, ты же вырежешь нормально? Okay, what the biggest mistake you see high-performing men make when they're dating, even though they think they're doing everything right?
So, the biggest mistake I see high performing men make when they're dating, well, it is putting women on a pedestal. And I'll explain you what that means because this can be like consciously or subconsciously. When men, especially when they're dating a woman who is very beautiful, like they approach a woman who's very beautiful, or maybe they, send a DM on Instagram or they match on Tinder, whatever, they think that this woman is like a goddess. They just put her on a pedestal. And as I said, it can be consciously, but also subconsciously. They notice when they're around her, they feel a bit nervous, like they're overthinking what to say, what to do. And this usually only happens with the women that they really like. With normal women, quote unquote normal, like women who they don't like that much, they're more on their paradigm, on their level. They're super chill, they're relaxed, not even thinking too much. But again, when they're around those women who they really like, they start becoming nervous. I had many clients who said to me, and they were like successful guys with great businesses in shape, but they said when I'm in front of one of those type of women, I feel like a little kid again. And this is something quite common that happens. So again, the symptoms is that you put her on a pedestal. The symptoms are that you are a bit nervous when you're around her. Maybe you have trouble having like physical contact, initiating it. You overthink what to say, what to do, what to text. That's another thing that they're just staring at the phone for hours, not knowing what to say. And how to solve it? Well, you need, first of all, more practice. So you need to be in front of those type of women more often. And yes, this is not going to sound like the most politically correct, like you need to talk to a lot of women, but it's actually the best way to do it. Because I mean, I love the sweetheart story of just meeting the love of your life in high school and then being together for the rest of your life. And that happens, that's amazing if that happened to you. Great. But most men, they're 25, 30, 35, 40, they still haven't met the woman that they want to spend their life with, or they're coming from a separation, from a divorce, and they're a bit like rusty. They don't know like exactly how to proceed in dating, and the first woman who is like very attractive and gives them a little bit of attention, they again put them on a pedestal, and what you need is more practice. That's why I advise cold approach, because then with cold approach you get in front of like a lot of women, you do a lot of things, and then you're able to have more practice, have more results. That's one. Then the second one is to have some process to work in your mindset. So there's the external part, which is you going out there and taking action. And then there's the internal part, which is working on your mindset, on the beliefs that you might have about women, about men, about how they have to relate to each other. I'll give you an example. So many men get success in their life and they have very high expectation of themselves. So they think, I need to be rich, I need to be jacked, I need to be strong, I need to be loving, I need all these qualities to be a good man. And that's amazing. The issue is when they believe that the woman has those expectations of themselves, and then they get into a mindset of, I'm trying to prove something to the woman. I'm trying to, you know, demonstrate that I'm a good deal. And I need to be, like at this level to kind of almost climb to her level. When the woman, what she wants is, of course, somebody who has all those qualities, can be a provider, is strong, is fit. Yeah, that's amazing. But ultimately, it's about the connection that you're gonna have. Especially nowadays, it seems like everybody became a bit more focused on the external things with social media. You look around and you see people, with in great shape, and looks like everybody has a Lamborghini. And some men might feel, even though they're high performers, they might feel that they're not enough. And when you believe that you're not enough, you're automatically putting the woman on a pedestal. This woman is super beautiful. This woman is nice. And I'm not there yet because I'm comparing myself to all the people on social media that put forward an image of success. And then you have this belief, and you go and you interact with women, and you're tense. You're thinking, fuck, this woman is not going to be able to like me, and all these limiting beliefs. And I even had clients who were, as I said, I remember a very successful client that I had, and he was 38 when he started coaching with us. And one of the things that he said to us is that, yes, I would like to be with women in their 20s because I find them attractive, genuinely. But I think they will not like me back because I'm 38. So he had this limiting belief in his age. He was putting the young women in their 20s in a pedestal. When in reality, when he started doing cold approach and he started solving some of the issues that he had internally, for example, with initiating physical contact and leading the date forward, then what happened is that he was, well, for no better to say, that drowning in women in their 20s who were attractive and wanted to be with him, even girls 19 years old, that he met like during the day, anywhere, anytime. So again, once you solve those issues and you stop putting women on a pedestal, you're able to enjoy yourself more. You're able to be more free, and that's what can create a connection. So that's the biggest mistake I see high performing men make in dating, and how to solve it. Let's go with the second question. Did you understand anything about it? You're just looking at me like, okay. You got the second question, right?
Two questions. Okay.
My phone has to be right next to you. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm
Okay.
always ready, baby.
Okay. Why do you think men who are very controlled and disciplined often struggle with emotional connection and chemistry?
Okay. So why do you think men who are very controlled and disciplined often struggle with emotional connection and chemistry? I see. And actually, you were curious about this response coming from me because you say that, of course, I'm a disciplined person and in general controlled. And, sometimes these opposites, it happens quite often. Like men who are very ambitious, they want to achieve certain things, they have to develop certain discipline and control over their life, right? And then they might try to apply the same logic that they apply in their business, the same logic that they apply, let's say, in their fitness. Like, okay, I'm tracking my macros, I'm doing all these exercises, I'm, having all these Excel sheets for my business, and putting all of this there. You were pushing me a bit, so I had to make a stop to it. And then I go out there and I meet women. I'm on a date, and I'm like very serious. And I think that I have to walk on eggshells. And I think that everything has to be like very controlled, and everything has to be like very formal, right? And again, many clients I work with fall into this category. And I remember some of them came from a big business background. And when they started incorporating cold approach, going out there meeting women, they had this like they were being too formal, they were being too uptight, very rigid. But when you're interacting with women, you gotta let yourself go. There's this movie Fight Club, and there's a scene which I really like. Tyler Durden, one of the protagonists, and the narrator are in a car, and there's a phrase which Tyler says, which is "let go, just let go," because the other person actually worked in insurance, and he was calculating all the probabilities of death here and the car crash and all he had in his mind is being on the defensive, right? So the other protagonists that just let go. And it's kind of what I want to say sometimes to clients who are very rigid is just let go. You know, you're going out there, you're meeting a woman, you can make that fucking joke that you want, you know? Whatever is in your mind, you can say it. And that's actually one of the best ways to connect. I mean, if you remember our first date, it was very random, like, right? Like we talked about many random things, and I don't know from your side, but from my point of view, I was just enjoying, like not thinking too much. No, I wasn't trying to manipulate or do anything like that. I was just, you know, trying to enjoy the moment. And if you have that genuine fun, that genuine passion, that genuine excitement, then you're gonna give it off to the woman, and that's the best way to create attraction. And not to think that you have to be super formal and I mean, we're very correct, we go to a very fine dining place, and you know, we have to talk about serious things and this and that. No, you can just fuck around. Like everybody wants to be a clown and clown around and have fun, but when you meet somebody new, everybody's afraid to make that first step and to actually say, hey, it's okay to have fun. It's okay to like you as the man create the environment where the woman feels okay to express herself, feels okay to be open to have fun with you. And that's actually one of the things that creates the most attraction. There's attraction and comfort, right? And you need both for a long-term connection. Now, many guys have the comfort part down, especially if you have developed yourself. You have a good, you know, career, you have a good health, you have good circle, you have good manners, you're a nice guy. You have the comfort side. Okay, like the woman feels good around you. But the issue is that many of the guys have issues with the attraction part, like the raw attraction, the woman feeling like, fuck, I like this guy, you know? And that's what you develop when you stop controlling yourself so much, when you stop becoming so disciplined in your communication and you become a bit more free flowing. So, whatever bullshit is in your mind, you're going to say it. And sometimes it might get a reaction where it's not the best, you know, because the woman thinks, who the fuck is this like guy who's saying these absurd things? Well, number one, you're going to filter out the women who are not the best match for you. And number two, what's going to happen is that even if there's a joke that you make that the woman finds offensive, she still gets drawn into you because of the energy that you have. So you're so free, you're so unfiltered that even though you say something that is not politically correct, the woman gets drawn into that fun. The same thing happens with comedians. Like they push the envelope, they start to make jokes where they're like crossing the barrier or right on that line of political correctness, and the people still have fun. So that would be, you know, and why do I think they struggle with it? Like, go back to that question was, why do you think men who are very controlled and disciplined often struggle with emotional connection and chemistry? Well, the reason is that they try to apply the same principles that worked in their business or in other areas to communication with women. And there are many principles that apply, but others You have to pivot, and you have to be a bit more, connect with that more emotional side of you. So that's it for the second question. And I think we'll leave the video here because, as you guys know, I'm quite long-winded. So if we do like one more question, it's going to be like a very long video. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you are a man who wants help in this area to naturally attract the women that you desire the most and either enjoy high quality dating in abundance or meet your ideal long-term partner, then you can go to armingoribian.com. That's my website. You'll find all the information that you need there. It's been a pleasure being with you and with you as well. And I'll see you on the next video.